First Baptist Church. This is Pastor Bob, and we are getting ready to come back in for indoor corporate worship this Sunday, June 14th. I'm excited about this next phase of coming in, and I want to take a moment just to show you and explain to you what you can expect when we return to indoor corporate worship. So let's go inside and take a look. So when you arrive Sunday morning and come through the main foyer or down the hallway of the education wing and into the hallway toward the worship center, which is where I'm standing now, you'll see a sign that looks like this. This is a reminder of social distancing. Families can sit together for worship. Others of us will need to spread out some, but the ushers and the welcome teams will help you do that. I'll explain that a little bit more in just a minute. So the first thing you'll see is this sign as a reminder of social distancing. Also, in the main foyer, when you come in, the chairs we usually sit in for fellowship, the coffee table, the welcome station, all those things will be moved. Sadly, one of the things we enjoy the most at church is fellowship, but during this time of social distancing, we need to minimize contact. So we're going to change those things up. But also, on the welcome station and on the coffee table, we will have out for you some precautions and supplies. Let me talk about that for just a minute. After you pass the sign for social distancing, the next thing you'll see will be the station for precautions. This is the hand sanitizing station, and it's touch-free. There's one of these in the hallway here, in the children's wing, and also in the main foyer. You can use this precaution, the hand sanitizer, or you can bring your own. Also, we encourage you to go ahead and bring your own mask. On the welcome center table, the coffee table, what's usually the coffee table, we'll have masks provided for you. But if you would, go ahead and bring your own mask because we won't have enough as a church for everyone. And we do want to encourage you to wear your mask and to use precautions. Now, you may think you don't need to do that. It's not popular. It's not very comfortable. And we all understand that. But remember, it's not just for your health, it's for the health of people around you. And as we worship together, we want to feel comfortable, we want to be safe, and we want to take into account everyone in worship. So please, I want to encourage you to bring your own mask, wear a mask. If you should forget yours, the church will have one here that you can use. One more thing you'll notice, behind me is roped off an area. Now, this area roped off is designed for traffic flow. On one side of it will be where people come in and out through the main foyer, and on this side you'll see this door is open so that if you come through the education wing and down the hallway in the children's ministry area, you can go in and out this way. So again, we want to practice that precaution to assist in social distancing. While I'm standing here in the children's ministry area, let me mention one more thing. In this first phase of reopening, we will not be including children's ministries. Hopefully, in the next phase, we'll be able to do that. I certainly look forward to that, to having our children back. But it's just not something we can ask of kids to practice social distancing. It's not really practical to ask kids to practice social distancing. They're going to want to hug on each other, hug on their teachers, and of course, you're going to want to visit with them and hug on them as well. And we can't really accommodate volunteers in those ministries at this time. So in the first phase of reopening, parents, we will not be providing the children's ministries. However, we will have open for you the preschool classroom here. So if you should come out of worship and need to come out of worship for a few minutes, you can use one of the classrooms for that. And we do encourage you to bring your children in for worship. You can do that. And want to encourage you to do that, to come as a family, to sit together, but we won't be providing the children's ministries. So that's what you're going to experience when you first come into the building. Whichever hallway you come through, you'll see the sign for social distancing, you'll see the precaution station, we encourage you to wear a mask, and you'll see that the entry and exit is specified for you. So now let's go ahead and go into the worship center, and I'll give you an idea of what to expect there when you arrive on Sunday morning. So now when you come into the worship center, the first thing you'll see on Sunday morning is this station. This is your station for giving your tithes and offerings. We still prefer that you give online. If you've been doing that, continue to do that. That's good for us, and it's good for you.
But right now also you'll find that there's a lockbox here with this station for you to drop in your tithes and your offerings when you come in the door. You'll also notice that at this station you can pick up your bulletin. The welcome teams and the ushers will not be giving out bulletins, again, in order to facilitate social distancing and minimize contact. But you can pick up your bulletin here for the morning when you come in. And one more thing you'll notice, you can drop off your Connect cards into this box, either on your way in or on your way out. So if you've got a question, a prayer request, you've already made a commitment or a next step of faith, you can drop that card in on your way in. On the way out, if during the service or the time of response, you make a decision for Christ or you're interested in joining the church, or again, you have a prayer request to share or just a question, fill out that Connect card that's on your worship guide and drop it in the box on the way out. So that's one change you'll notice right away when you come in. The ushers, welcome teams will not be giving out bulletins. During the worship service, we'll not be collecting the offering in the traditional way. Instead, your Connect cards and your offering envelopes go into this box. So here's what happens next. Let's go into the worship center, and let me show you the next step and what happens next, what you can expect when you're seated for worship on Sunday morning. So now you've arrived for worship, and you come into the worship center. On Sunday mornings, for a while, the ushers are going to be seating you. The welcome teams will help them, but the ushers are going to be seating you to facilitate social distancing. We'll be having two services, 8:30 and 11 a.m., and in each service, when you arrive and you come into the worship center, the ushers will help you find a seat. You'll notice that the rows are separated for social distancing. Every other row will be marked off like this with a sign that says it's for social distancing. So when the ushers seat you, they're going to be taking that into account. They'll seat you as best they can. Families may sit together. And once they've seated you, they're going to take a very similar sign that looks just like this, and they're going to place it in the seats beside you, again, to facilitate social distancing. So now you've arrived, you're seated for worship, and we're going to have a great worship experience. Once you're here, I'll tell you a little bit more about some accommodations and things we need to adapt to while we're in worship together. But I look forward to seeing you on Sunday morning. Before I close out this video, I want to mention just a few things. First, of course, remember to register for the worship service you plan to come and participate in. The only exception to that is if you've already registered using a Connect card on the last two Sundays. Otherwise, go to our website, fbcshalot.org, and find the RSVP link so that you can register you and your family for the worship service, 8:30 or 11 a.m., that you plan to attend. This, again, helps us facilitate social distancing. It gives us an idea of how many folks are going to be here. So please be sure to register. And you'll need to do that every Sunday moving forward, not just for this Sunday, but for every Sunday moving forward. And each Sunday, we'll also have on the Connect card a place that you can register for the next Sunday. July 5th, we're going to rally up like we did May 31st and worship again outside. Keep that in mind. Go ahead and put that on your calendar. That's also a time that when we come back together and do that outside, if we need to make any other adjustments for indoor corporate worship, we can take that into account at that time. And then just one more thing. As we're moving back into this first phase of indoor corporate worship, let's encourage each other. Let's pray for one another. Let's be patient with one another. Not everybody needs to come back at the same time. You'll remember our 4 affirmations, the 4 things that we agree upon that I sent out to you in an email not long ago. Remember those, keep those in mind. The first of those is we affirm together that this is a matter of grace. Our phasing in is grace-filled and guilt-free. If you feel like you need to stay back for a while, that's okay. There's no rush. You take your time. And that's the second affirmation. There's no hurry. You know what's best for you. You know what's best for your family. So if you need to take your time and come in a different phase, that's okay. God willing, in the second phase, we'll be able to add back some ministries and open up a little bit more. But you take your time and you do what's best for you. And the third affirmation is everyone's health matters. Everyone's health matters. God gave you the wisdom to stay healthy. So again, do what's best for you and for your family. And then fourth, we agree to be prayerful in trusting God. We trust God for what comes next. So I hope this video has helped you. I look forward to seeing you Sunday morning. God bless you. I love you, and I will see you soon.